Bottom line, today I'm going to teach you how to ride in all types of weather. As you can see, I've got my bike here, my helmet, and
what's going on? And why do you have my helmet? Because I've been looking for it for quite some time there, player. So, I don't know what she was about to try and show you guys, but I'm going to show you why I like motorcycles. We're going to show you all about them, and we're going to talk about them for this new segment, and I'm excited, and I don't know what is going on right here, but let's ride. I got into motorcycles kind of like music very late in life. I actually didn't get this bike until right before I first had kids. Like right when I got married, I decided I wanted a bike. And I was like, okay, let me just start reading about bikes and looking about them. You know, I never really, they always kind of scared me a little bit. Then I remember I was kind of like, okay, really on the fence about buying one. And I was coming down 2nd Street, or up 2nd Street, stopped at a red light, and a Thunder Guard pulled up next to me. And his bike was just, he looked so cool, the sound was off the chain, and I was like, I gotta get a bike, I gotta try it. And I started honestly just with the DMV course and just slowly but surely became obsessed with it. So that's where it started. This is a 2014 Harley Davidson Iron 883. The idea was that you get your first bike and you'll probably drop that a couple of times in the parking lot and do something goofy. You don't want to get a brand new bike and mess that one up. Like you learn and do all your mistakes on the first one. And I was tired of waiting, so I said, you know what? I'm getting my Harley, I'm gonna start on that bike, and whatever happens, happens. This is my first official bike, and I've had it, and it's been absolutely reliable, and I'm just, it's like, you know, it's all of, the whole idea of the bike becoming a part of you and being your personality and a reflection of you, this is absolutely the case. Like when you take that class, they really start you out literally at just hold the bike and stand on it. And the motor's not even on, and you walk it forward and you stop it with the brake while it's not even on. You walk it forward, and then there's a point over the course of the 3-day class where you finally are able to actually ride the bike going at about 20 miles per hour in a circle, all right? And I finally got to that point, and I was nervous even then. Like when the first time you ride 20 miles per hour feels like you're flying. Like, I mean, just going super fast. And I remember the first time that you kind of lean and just go in that circle, and I was like, oh, that's what it is. Because you felt like you were flying, just kind of gliding, and it's all here, and you're like, you saw like a glimpse of what this could be, and I was like, okay, now I'm in. The main thing that I feel when I'm riding is a sense of just peace and relaxation. There's like a saying that, no one understands, only motorcyclists know why dogs put their head out of the window when cars are going down the road. And that's kind of what it is. It's like it's a certain feeling that you just don't get until you've actually been in that situation. You have to be in the moment, because if you aren't, you'll get hurt. And so you have all of your senses that are being used for this one thing, and it just makes you focus and appreciate the moment, and that's all that kind of matters, and you just clear everything else out. So here we are at one of my locations. We took a ride up 82, and bottom line is this is just what I will do. I will go on a nice long ride on a windy road and set up shop and be in peace until people like this show up to completely destroy my peace. What's the problem?
Down 82.
Why? What happened? What happened on 82? Tell us what happened on 82. So what do you think of the windy roads, Nadj?
Was angry.
Why?
It was just cliffs and tight spaces.
Yeah, that's what makes it fun. So the nice, tight, windy roads, that is my place of joy, and clearly it is someone else's personal hell. So what are you going to say? That's why motorcycling isn't for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, she would have been absolutely losing her mind and just peeing her pants. And she's in a truck, mind you, kind of trailing. But for me, being on those roads and moving like this is like absolute freedom, and it feels like you're flying. To her, it's certain death.
Bottom line, you got issues.
And we all know that. This is what I do. And this is what most bikers do. Yeah. So, you know, if you have a daring side to your nature and you like to, your beard is itching. Yeah. But what you just saw is what I do, and for some people it's great, for some people it's not. But we love it, us bikers. Later. Now we are here with newly inaugurated Senator Sarah McBride. How are you?
I am good. How are you both doing?
We're great. Did I say that correctly? Like you're newly inaugurated? What is the right term?
Yeah, newly sworn in. I don't think I rank high enough to be considered inaugurated, but newly sworn in, and excited to be getting to work.
So, okay, let's just jump right into it. What are you getting to work on?
Sure. Well, obviously, we are entering this session with a ton of issues on our plate. Frankly, any one of the issues that we are facing could be enough in a traditional year to fill an entire legislative schedule. But this year, because of circumstances, because of the urgency of the issues we face, we have been called to address all of those issues. So one, obviously, we are facing the worst pandemic in a century and the worst economy in several generations. And that has required us to, one, make sure that we are getting this vaccine out as efficiently and effectively as possible. As the chair of the Senate Health Committee, it is my top priority to be passing along the information to my constituents and pushing and asking critical questions of the administration to ensure that we're getting that vaccine out there equitably, we're getting it out there efficiently, and we're getting it to as many arms as possible. But it's not just about facing the COVID-19 crisis. We've also got to make sure that we're supporting families, working families, through this crisis, since we know so many people who've been on the front lines have faced the brunt of this crisis. And it's not enough for us to just recover from COVID and return to the ways of the past. We have to chart a new path forward. And so that next challenge coincides with a pre-existing challenge, which was to figure out what our next economic chapter is going to be. And from my perspective, that means learning the lessons of this moment and adopting pro-working family policies like universal paid family and medical leave, like a livable wage. It means investing in our public education system and heeding the calls of advocates, students, and parents to make sure that we're not just putting more money into our schools, but that we're also spending it where it's needed most, that we build a more equitable public school system from pre-K all the way up through graduation. Another significant challenge we face is the historic call for racial justice. That means meaningful criminal justice and police reform. And I believe this session, we are going to have an opportunity to vote on a number of pieces of legislation that will ensure we have a justice system that more fully protects the dignity of every Delawarean, including our Black neighbors and Black Delawareans who for too long have been criminalized, who for too long have faced disproportionate punishment, and for too long have had a criminal justice system that doesn't protect their dignity and safety, but rather oftentimes targets it. Those are our big issues, but I think we have the opportunity, a historic opportunity with the new people in the legislature joining many of the returning members to heed the call, to meet the moment, and to deliver meaningful progress over the next 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's all fantastic. And I think there are a lot of people who are extremely excited for, what's hopefully going to come over the next year. And I think all of the things that you said are really important. And I've kind of been biting my tongue to a degree because I want to give everyone their space and time to make these changes happen. And I really feel like for specifically Democrats, this is a really critical time for you as a party to kind of show from the local level all the way to the federal level, like what you can do, because, the ball is completely in your court as much as it could have possibly been. So it's like, what are you guys going to do with it? You know what I mean?
I completely agree. I think that's absolutely right. We have to meet the scale of the challenges we face with real action. And Democrats have a unique opportunity, especially here in Delaware. We can be a laboratory of democracy for those bold ideas, those big ideas. State and local legislative bodies have that responsibility. And with Democrats in charge, I believe we've certainly responsibly managed this crisis. But the next chapter of it is saying that in order to honor the lives we've lost, in order to honor the families who've lost loved ones, in order to honor the people who are struggling through unemployment, who are fearful about their health, the only way to honor all of the people in our community who've sacrificed so much is to say, we've got this moment, we've got this opportunity, let's do big things. And I don't think we can go back to voters in 2 years and say, vote for us, turn out for us, if they don't see the kind of results that they expect and that they need.
Yes. Oh, I love that. No, I want a question.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. The interview that I saw was really touching. You mentioned that you didn't see this opportunity. You didn't see this as a possibility. So what did you see? Because there had to have been something that pushed you in the right direction.
Well, growing up, the only reference point I had for a transgender person was as a punchline in a comedy or a dead body in a drama. That was the only reference I had. And at 10 years old, you don't necessarily know a ton, but you don't want to be a joke.
Yeah.
And so the notion that this was impossible, not running for office, but the notion that you could be trans and be in a community you love, find love, and do work that you love, that didn't seem within the realm of possibility. It seemed like my identity and whatever dreams I had were completely mutually exclusive. But I think the decision to run for office was a byproduct of really the last 10 years of my advocacy, in which I saw, one, our ability to bring about change that once seemed impossible. Two, more and more people of every background running for office and winning and serving at every level. And three, I saw that politics at its best isn't the art of the possible, but rather over the course of history, it's the art of transforming impossibility into possibility into reality, and that the only things that are truly impossible are the things we don't try. And that's true in running for office, but it's also true in the policies we pursue. And so I think I ran based on a hope and a faith in the change that I've seen as a source of the change that we can continue to see. And that perhaps if I put my name out there, I could be judged on my merits. I could be judged on my ideas and my experience. And to the degree that my identity came up from voters during the course of this campaign, it was really purely people who were excited about more voices at the table and more diversity in government.
Representation matters. It does.
So it's so funny because, when we first started trying to figure out, what we wanted to talk about with you, my first thought was, why should we even bring up any of your sexuality? Because it has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with your ability to come up with good ideas and to legislate. But at the same time, as you said, the fact that you are able to just legislate as your true self, that to me is the big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, well, what do we even have to talk about that for? Well, that's why, because it's someone else who gets to, you know, who has the freedom to fully express themselves in that capacity, which is beautiful. So taking it back a little bit, actually, you know, let's talk more about politics. How did you get involved with politics?
Well, interestingly enough, I got involved in part because of the very thing we're talking about. I got involved because I saw growing up that there was something about me that many in society would not accept. I saw that there was something about me that created, through no fault of my own, significant barriers to a life filled with meaning and joy and love. And one of the things that I started doing was I started reading history, and I saw that every chapter in the history books was the story of advocates and activists, citizens, residents, and some courageous elected officials meeting their advocacy and their work to deepen our understanding of we the people, to advance equity, justice, and human rights. And we've never fully lived up to the promise. We have never gotten there. But the through line is the story of people doing the hard work necessary to deepen our sense of equity and justice and basic human rights. And I found hope in that. I found hope that there could be a different world that was possible. And so I got involved. I started volunteering in politics at a young age. And I was very lucky. And I think what's so important for me to recognize too is that as impossible as some of these things seemed when I was growing up, as impossible as it seemed for a trans person to be out and have a role in their community, I also had a lot of things going for me. I'm white. I come from a family, a family with, you know, educational privilege and economic privilege. I come with a lot of layers of support that shield me from some of the most significant discrimination and even violence that come my way. They're layers of support that help get me through tragedy and my husband's cancer. And I know that if any single one of those layers had been removed, if any single one of those privileges had been removed, I don't know that I would have been able to keep my head above water. I don't know that I would have been able to make it through those moments. And so for me, I think about how I got involved because I thought about how difficult that experience and those experiences were for me, but how relatively easy they were compared to the experiences of so many other people who don't have the same support that I have. And so for me, I got involved first because of that struggle of wondering how I fit into this world, but then looking around this world and seeing how, as difficult as it was for me, there was still so many other barriers in people's way. And if I would have then the chance to have a seat at the table, it was then my responsibility to make sure that we aren't just achieving equity and justice for the wealthiest or the most privileged in our communities, but that we're truly achieving progress for everyone in our communities. So I was both motivated by it personally, but also motivated because I saw through my own struggle how lucky I am.
Good morning, everybody. We are here, Nadj and Jea at Push Tattoo, owned by Oba Jackson. And we're about to open these doors and talk to him all about his business. All right, let's head in.
So thank you for allowing us to interview you in your studio, which is absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you.
Can you please tell us a little bit about how you got into art and into tattooing?
So I got my start in art. I come from an artistic family. My mom and my grandma were both artists. And in our family, they don't teach as much as they give you supplies and just want you to create your own voice. So I really, like, my mom and my grandma were great for that. And then I became a tattoo artist because I figured it was the best road to entrepreneurship.
What kind of artists were your grandma and your mom?
My grandma did animation and my mother does watercolor.
Wow.
So wait, your mom did animation?
My grandma.
Your grandma
My grandma.
did
Oh my
animation?
gosh.
That, I mean, you talk about being ahead of her time.
Yeah, she's 70, she's 78.
Does she still do it?
She doesn't draw as much anymore, but she, like growing up, she just did everything. Like if you came to her house, she was working on cartoons by hand, like everything. My grandma is amazing. I wish I could get her to tattoo.
You know, can you explain to us what push tattoo is? Why'd you call it push? And maybe describe your style if you can.
Okay, so push tattoo stands for pray until something happens. A lot of my friends were like pushing me to do this for a long time, and they're like, "Oh, but come on, you just need to do it." And I was like waiting for the right time. And I got married, and my husband was like, "Listen, you can go on my insurance, and you can stop working at your full-time job, and you can just pursue your dream right now."
Israel!
That sounds like me. Let me in my way.
Israel, we need to talk, honey.
So, please tell us about the first time that you did a tattoo.
Well, so the first time I did a tattoo, it was on my friend Tiana. She had a small heart on her wrist that she had let an apprentice do like 10 years before that. And she was like, "If you want, you can touch this up and make it better." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try for my first tattoo." I had been training for about 6 weeks before I got there. Okay. You're supposed to train for 18 months. I trained for like 6 weeks. Wow. But I did my full apprenticeship, which was 18 months, but we were only 6 weeks in at this time. And I got the machine, got the gloves, got everything all set up, and I wanted to go tattoo her. And my hands naturally like are moving all the time. But when I draw or paint, they like study out perfectly. They did not study out this time. So the whole time I'm going in, I'm like,
Was it because you were nervous?
I was nervous as hell. I was like shaking because like painting on something that's disposable is fine, but once you go to someone's real skin, it's important that I feel like you put your best foot forward all the time. Like I always tell my staff to go, whenever you go into a tattoo, you go into that tattoo with 100% confidence and you give it the best that you can give every single time. So at that time, I hadn't had any tattoos before this, so it was like terrifying. And then it was my friend, so I knew I was gonna keep on seeing it. So I did the heart on her, and it was the shakiest heart. It probably was a little bit worse than the original heart that she had. But she was like, she literally looked at me and was like, "This is trash." She said, "This is trash, but I trust you enough to know that you will fix this." And then a year later, I put a portrait of her mom on top of it.
Wow.
Yep.
So what is like the gap that you kind of have to cross? Like, 'cause you obviously can draw, so is it just kind of calming your nerves?
It is learning a completely new skill. When I first started tattooing, people kept likening it to drawing, and it wasn't working for me. I always could draw. I can do pretty much every medium, but likening this to drawing, it just wasn't computing in my head. It is because it was not drawing, it was painting, and that is what helped me so much. Like I took like a big leap in my career at the very beginning, because a pencil is one thing because it's straight, it's stiff, it's not moving. A paintbrush is moving the entire time. Like your paintbrush is doing all the different strokes, but then your wrist technique is also different than it would be when you use a pencil. My wrist technique is exactly the same way when I paint as when I tattoo.
And you were like, bingo.
But before I was trying to draw with it. So drawing is this, painting is this.
We have to ask, how have you coped during COVID?
It is interesting because everybody always asks that comes in here that are regulars and just see us wearing the mask. And I tell them, if your tattoo shop is at the standard that it should have been before COVID, you are completely fine through COVID. Because my job, my number one practice in my job is cleanliness and making sure things aren't cross-contaminated, which is the same thing with COVID. We do, only thing we do differently now is we make sure we get everybody that comes in information and we take everybody's temperature. And if they don't have a good enough mask or a face covering, we give them one that we have here. But those are the only practices we really change, because like my staff is continuously keeping their hands clean. When your gloves come off and you're done working, your hands get washed all the way up to your elbow. So The only thing the difference is just that. Like, if your tattoo shop is clean like it's supposed to be, you really don't have that many worries. Like, people were like, oh, I don't know if I want to come get a tattoo. And it's because they're used to that stereotypical dirty shop, like gross things. I'm like, my shop is not gross nor dirty. We are very well lit, so you can see everything in here. Ain't nothing crawling around.
It does look like an art gallery. It's beautiful. Like, I want this to be a home. Like, this is where people should.
Like, my goal was to make sure that everybody came in here and were comfortable when they come in. I've been to so many tattoo shops where I was not comfortable.
Yeah.
And I just want everybody to come in here and feel like they're at home and they can relax and they can touch things and not be like stressed out or nervous. Cause like, you already gonna be put in the pain. Why would you wanna be uncomfortable and in pain?
Right.
Like, cause don't let anybody tell you tattoos don't hurt. They do.
So are you from Delaware?
Yes.
Wow, I love that.
What part of Delaware?
I am from, so I was born here at Wilmington Hospital. That does not exist anymore.
That's where I was born. That's
Yeah.
where I was born.
And then, and then I grew up in Bear most of my life, and then when I became an adult. Yeah. Oh well, I lived in Lexington Green, right around the corner. Yep.
What high school did
Yeah.
you go to?
Christiana.
You did?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Every artist is different and you have your own thing. Like, if someone wants to come to you, like, what can they kind of expect? What's your thing?
If you are looking for a beautiful black woman or a beautiful portrait, that is what you come to me for. So I remember my mentor saying, like, don't ever put yourself into a corner because you can do everything, this, and that. Those are the things I like to do. So you are going to get the best results from things I like to do. I'm going to put 100% into everything, but if you come to me for a black woman or a portrait of any age group, race, anything like that, those are the things I love to do. Like, I've always painted portraits since I was 12, so doing faces is just what comes natural to me. So I just really appreciate the beauty of like black women and faces and diversity. So that's the things I specialize in.
So why Delaware? So we have this thing on the show that we call I'm So Delaware. And it's basically to get people to understand that, yes, we're a small state.
But we're dope.
But we're dope. We have people here and things here that we should be proud of. So you're definitely one of those things and one of those people. And I want people to hear from you why you decided to stay when you are obviously world renowned. Like, just looking at your space and speaking to you and knowing your background now, you decided to stay in Delaware and share all of this with us. Why is that?
Well, I'm so Delaware because I'm pretty sure if you're from here, you got a cousin named Ray Ray. One, I do. I have a niece named Ray Ray. But I have a thing in life that no matter where you are, the things that you're supposed to have will come to you. And if you plan your life right, you don't always have to move to do what you want. You just have to be the best at something. And a lot of people have this mentality where they're like, oh, I'm gonna go to a place like LA and I'm going to become super famous and I'm gonna do this. I don't feel like I need to move to LA to do anything like that. I'm not even trying to be a famous tattoo artist. I'm just out here trying to live my best life and make sure I provide for the clients that wanna come to me. If you want to come to Delaware, this is where I am, and I will give you what I can. I do guest spots wherever somebody requests me at, like especially after COVID, I'll probably do them more, but I don't think there's a reason for me to leave here. Like, if you want to, like, people travel for tattoos. This is an art. You would go somewhere to go get a painting. You could come here to get a tattoo. Also, I feel like when I finally decide to have kids or adopt a child, I feel like Delaware is a great place to grow up because I grew up here. And I feel like I know everything about this place, so I could trust my kid to be out here in this world. Where I don't know everything about if we move to a DC or a Florida or something. I don't know everything about that. We ain't gonna go to Florida. I'm super good on that, but also I know that me being a man of color and my child will most likely be a person of color, and I can navigate this world a little bit better than I can navigate any other world for that child and for their safety. Yeah.
Everyone needs help at some point in life. My name is Rosie Tooley, and I have created Lessy, which gives entrepreneurs the help and support they need to develop their skill and business background.
The people who are a part of this are very excited. They buy into the vision of it.
I have met people who have had everything stripped from their lives. These are unique, creative, and powerful people, and my goal is to give them the opportunity to reveal those qualities.
It takes a village to raise a community. And Del One is part of my community, and they're a part of this community, because what I'm doing here with financial peace could not have been done without Del One's contribution.
Now. So now that we have gotten all of that, we would like to play a game with you.
We want to have some fun with you. Can we have a little bit of fun? Real quick.
Fun.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna play this or that, Delaware version. So you only have 5 seconds to choose, and if you go over your 5 seconds, make sure you're doing the countdown.
Okay.
Jay's gonna go. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
And 5 seconds, what am I supposed to do? I missed that.
You have to pick one or the other.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you 2 options. You have to pick one or the other within 5 seconds.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Ready.
Lewis or Dewey?
Lewis.
Greek festival or Italian festival?
Italian festival.
Ice cream festival or flower market?
Be mad at me.
Ice cream festival or flower market?
What was the second one?
Ice cream festival or the flower market?
Flower market.
The doghouse or Capriati's?
Ooh.
Bodies, yeah.
All right, last one. Grottos or Seasons?
Ooh.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What do you think? All right.
That was good. All right, I think you're safe.
Yeah, Governor, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else that you want to say before you get out of here?
No, I just, first of all, thank the people of your listening audience, your viewing audience. Thank you for the opportunity to serve as their governor during a difficult time. And I would just ask all of them to be safe, enjoy the holiday season, but do it safely. And we're going to get through this. We've got a vaccine on the way, and things will be better in 2021.
Yes,
Let's
they
do
will.
it.
We're officially best friends now.
You two
Governor.
are.
Like we are. So just when you see us on the street, hey, best friend.
She just wants political favors. You have a great day. Thank you, Governor.
Hey everyone, we're here with Sarah Granda at Faithful Friends Shelter so that we can check out some kitties and some puppies. We're so excited, especially Jay because he loves all the cats.
So, Sarah, please tell us about this wonderful location. Where are we?
Well, so we are here at 12 Germain Drive in Wilmington, Delaware at Faithful Friends. So we are actually this year in 2020, even though it's been a crazy year, we are celebrating our 20th year anniversary.
Wow.
We have been around for 20 years helping and saving homeless animals in Delaware. So Faithful Friends was actually founded by our executive director, Jane Pierantazzi. She and a group of people came together when they found out that in public shelters, 80 to 90% of the animals that went in were not making it out. Wow. They were being euthanized. So their goal was to become the first no-kill state, and we are. This is the second year in a row that we are the only state in the country that we are a no-kill state. So that means that we have a 90% or higher survival rate where we help animals train to be adoptable. We help them with behavioral medical issues.
This is so exciting. I had no idea, just like I'm sure there are plenty of people who are going to be watching who have no idea, because you just think, okay, we're going to go adopt a dog or a cat, you know?
Right.
but you don't think about everything that goes into it, and especially with the people who work here, you know, the training, and this is great. I'm excited.
Yes, we have 2 trainers on site that actually work hands-on with all of the dogs to ensure that they have basic manners before they go into a home. So we're so excited. We're so glad to have such a great team between the cat department and the dog department. We really have an awesome team here at Faithful Friends to ensure the adoption experience is the best it can possibly be.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that, you know, here in our little first state of Delaware, we're leading, you know, I guess that charge for, what is the term again? Like, this is a no-kill.
A no-kill state, yes.
We're so
incredible.
Delaware, no-kill state, honey. There we go. That's one of our. That's one of our things. We have a hashtag I'm so Delaware, and it's just what makes Delaware special. So
I love that.
Special thing.
That's a special thing.
Really special.
I love that.
Yes, and 20-year anniversary. So this is awesome.
So we should go inside now.
Yes.
and
Yes.
check out everything that you have going on.
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
But these are all of our kitties that are up for adoption. So when people come in, this is the first room that they enter and see.
Jimi Hendrix.
Yes. So there's about 35 cats in here at any given time.
Okay.
And usually we sometimes have all of the cages open and they're running around like crazy in here.
Oh
so it's a little more calm right now.
So how do you guys receive your animals? Like when they come in, how does that happen?
So for the dogs and cats, it's so different. For the cats, we have such an overpopulation of cats in Delaware, which is so hard. And that was also one of the problems 20 years ago that we're still working on today. So we actually work with communities all throughout Delaware with TNR, which is trap, neuter, release. So if someone can trap a stray cat or a feral cat, they bring it in, we sedate them, we get them fixed, vaccinated, and then we release them back to their community so that they stop populating and stop the overpopulation of cats in Delaware. So that's the goal, is because so many people, they used to just bring them in and euthanize them, where that's not what we want. So many cats prefer to be outside, prefer to live outside in a colony with other cats or just on the streets. Some cats do not like to be inside, and we know that. So we allow community cats, you know, we have actually a bunch back in the barn that are our community cats here. So a lot of times the animals that come in were either found outside and people realized, this cat is definitely not supposed to be outside, it's too friendly. Bring them here, we get them fixed, vaccinated, and ready for adoption. Or unfortunately, the other one is people surrendering their animals, which we have unfortunately seen quite a bit of due to COVID because of financial constraints and unemployment, losing their homes. So it's been a lot. We have unfortunately received quite a few surrenders, which has been heartbreaking for not only the owners, but for the shelter.
Oh my gosh.
So this is where the majority of our cats are. So these cats are the ones that once Cat Alley kind of opens up, these ones will start moving forward to be adopted. So these ones are ones that pretty much just came in, are adjusting to shelter life, and then will be ready for adoption very soon. So these are our cat condos. Many of them are semi-social cats or long-term cats who have been here for over a year. And if a cat has been here for an extended period of time, like a year or more, they get to come in the condos, because being in a cage like this for that long of a time is not beneficial for anyone. So they get to come in here and live with other cats, lounge around, play.
Do you have to kind of exercise all these cats? Like, I mean,
Yeah, so they try to get enough exercise in here. That's why we let them out. But in there, like I said, it's usually crazy with cats running around everywhere getting exercise. But yeah, some of these cats, these ones are ones who have been here for quite a long time. And they are up for adoption. We do bring people back here to see if they found one that they'd like. But these are the less likely to be adopted, but they are up for adoption.
I want that fat one.
Right?
That's a
Right?
pleasantly plump cat.
Oh yeah. right, guys? And then this room to our right, these are our semi-social cats. So these ones are not particularly as friendly. You know what I mean? These are the cats that kind of hang around you. Okay. They don't really want your affection or you to touch them. They're just fine with you being there. Okay. This would be your room.
This is my crew right here.
Exactly. So these guys are really just hanging. They're just a very relaxed group of cats, these ones.
I just want to sleep over.
Right.
When you have certain dogs that only will sort of connect with certain people, what do you think that is? Like, I don't know.
So many times, it can be so many different things. Like Midnight, you didn't get to see him as he's not here. His apartment's being finished. But he first saw Taylor, one of our dog trainers, and he instantly clicked with her. She was the first person he saw when she had found him. She was the first one that comforted him and was able to kind of coax him to come near her. And Midnight, really? Taylor's his person. It's so funny because Midnight, you have to be very specific on how you hook him and get his food ready. And these dogs are very specific, very routine animals here in the sanctuary program. But mainly, it could be just various different things. Yeah. Who they first saw, who was able to kind of coax them out of their shell first, or who spends the most time with them. You know what I mean? A lot of times they connect so much with our trainers because they spend so much time with them. But that's also one of the more perfect things is our trainers have spent so much time with them that they know the perfect home or the perfect fit for them. You know, like we've had a couple sanctuary dogs actually go into homes once we found the perfect fit. A lot of times it's a single person, nobody else, not a very active life, but a lot of times the dogs that we get come from either high kill shelters, either locally or from the south. And a lot of times when they come from those shelters, we are a lot smaller than them, a lot smaller than public shelters. So we have a lot more time to train and work with these animals, whereas other shelters haven't. So the main challenges we have with the dogs, I guess, are kind of getting them to learn their basic manners, kind of getting them just ready for a home. Because a lot of times when we get them, they're terrified. They're not really kept well with grooming, or they either come emaciated or something. A lot of these dogs need a lot of work. And so the cats back here in our barn, they were either found feral and got trapped, neutered, vaccinated, and didn't have a place to go back to. They didn't have a home. They were just found as singletons. So we created what we call our barn, where the cats are able to come in and out as they please. They're probably all hiding, the ones that are outside. But nope, they come back and sleep in here. We keep the heat on at night. We keep the AC on when it's hot. But these guys are our barn cats.
I love it.
How y'all doing?
So prior to this, I was working at the Delaware Restaurant Association and was working on their grant-funded programs, apprenticeship programs, and I've always just loved animals. I've had a connection with animals growing up. We've always had 2 dogs and at least 4 cats. We are a house of animals. So when I saw that this position was open for our marketing and PR manager, I was like, oh, it was just a dream, really.
Oh, I love that.
I filled out the application, submitted my resume back in probably, a long time, and I hadn't heard back from them. And I was like, okay, they went with someone else. They went with, no big deal. It was just a dream of mine. Then I finally got a call, and they're like, hey, you want to come in for an interview? I'm so sorry, we're just getting through applications. And I was like, yeah, of course. And it was that night after my interview that they called me back and were like, we'd love to have you. So I started literally a week later, and I haven't been happier. I mean, this is awesome. Thank you.
Well, thank you again so much for having us and showing us all the puppies and the critters.
Of course.
Is there any other information that you can tell us?
Yes, so actually I'd love to share. Currently we are having our annual match challenge. So from the beginning of November to February, all donations are doubled. They are matched by a few generous donors up until $250,000. So actually this past Giving Tuesday, just from individuals alone, we were able to raise $20,000. And due to it being matched, that's $40,000 that goes right into the shelter, right into the animals in the community who need us most. So if anyone's ever willing to give us a donation, it is more than appreciated. Our website is www.faithfulfriends.us. I know the US is tricky, it's not .com, it's US, but we are so thankful for people like you who want to come out and see the shelter and show people what we're all about, because a lot of people don't realize the resources we have available for the community. We are not just, a shelter. We want to make sure that all people in Delaware and all animals have the ability to have the best quality life together,
Animals need love too.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm just so thankful and so happy that you guys were able to join us here today, and I've had a blast. As I said to them, this is my first interview, so I'm so excited.
You guys are doing some heroic things here. So
You
we
are.
Really appreciate
You are.
it. Delaware loves you.
Yes. I love what's your hashtag?
I'm so Delaware.
I'm so Delaware.
Faithful
Love
Friends
it.
is I'm so Delaware.
Thank you guys.
Well, thank you so much. So catch us back at the studio after I get done hugging some more kittens and puppies.
Welcome. This is Nadj Learns Sports. As you can see, we're here on a baseball field. This is Mack Park in Wilmington, Delaware. Of course, we chose January as a great time to play baseball. Nadj, what do you know about the sport of baseball?
Oh, well, Sam, I know that there's a bat, a ball, and a mission. And that, Sam, is to win the game.
All right.
Well stated.
That,
that was great.
She's not wrong. I mean, that's
great.
pretty close. So
I hit it out of the park.
She's on fire right now. She's really on fire right now.
So, yeah, let's get into it. Play ball. What? Nadj, first, what do you think a ground ball is?
I have no idea. No, I don't even.
Just do word association.
Ground ball. Give me the ball.
It's not bad. You're close. All right. So this is your basic fielding position. We are in the infield right now. Okay. There's the infield, and that's the outfield.
Angel's in the outfield.
She's
probably
catching
go out
on.
there.
She's
Getting
catching
there.
on.
We
She's
gonna get
catching on.
there.
Okay. We're gonna be in a nice athletic position. All right. We're gonna put the butt and the glove down. We're gonna field the ball, and then go towards first base.
So you want to throw it to me?
I'm gonna throw it towards first
You're
base.
gonna throw it to Jay. He'll play first.
All right, I'm on first.
All the way over there?
All right. Here we go. You ready?
Wait, it's too fast.
That's not too fast. There you go. Oh my God! That was amazing. You gotta take the ball out of the glove and then throw it.
I forgot. Let's
That
try
was
it again.
amazing.
All right. Yay! Yay! Woo!
All right. How do you feel? How do you feel after that?
I feel invigorated. I'm ready for the big leagues.
So, let me ask you first. What do you think a batting stance is?
When you hold the bat and you're getting ready to swing that baby out the park.
Why athletic, a more athletic stance? Hands together. There we go. These arms back, and then.
What the hell?
Yeah.
There you go.
And you swing it through.
And then swing.
Swing it. Oh wow.
It's not that horrible.
You know what? Let's put me
Just
in
give
the
me a
game,
ball.
coach.
She's not gonna
You're
hit it.
not ready. But we're gonna try.
want to hit one. Just one.
Act like it's somebody you can't stand. This is
Get
your
in
one
front of the ball, Jay.
Whoever that's me. The ball is me, and it's your chance to get me.
All right.
Ha! Oh my God! Oh!
It worked! It worked!
I quit! I quit! I quit!
Wow!
Oh
I never did that before. Wow! All I needed to do was envision Jay, and I was good.
All right, Nadj, next lesson is base running. Okay, this is very important. When you hit the ball, like you just smoked Jay, how'd that feel, by the way? Let's talk.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Amazing. I don't want to brag, but I'm the
Oh
bomb.
my God, Jay.
Oh my God. I did it. I did it, Sam.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Jay's on second base, and Nadj is at home. What they're gonna do is run the entire length of the bases, and the first one to get back to their base wins. So Jay goes around, gets back to second, he wins, or Nadj goes from home to home. You got it?
Yes.
I'm gonna
Jay,
run
move
backwards.
slow.
I'm gonna run backwards.
Oh, you?
I'm gonna run backwards and be real extra.
3, 2, 1, go!
Where's the base? There's no base. This is hurting my ankles. Slow down, Jay.
I'm going backwards. I don't even know where the freaking base is.
I win.
You won.
I win. I win.
You win. You're a winner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
So that's the end of our little baseball lesson today. Nadj, did you learn anything?
Did I learn anything? Did y'all learn anything? Here.
Oh, okay. I'll sit up.
What was your favorite part about baseball?
Knocking Jay's head out.
That was impressive.
I mean, knocking the ball out the park.
That was impressive. Yeah.
Well, that's the conclusion of Nadj Learns Sports Baseball Edition. We're going to try to make this a regular thing, maybe with some other sports. So, what do you guys want to do next?
I want to go and get in bed and eat a burger, some steak.
A burger and some steak?
And I need some dumplings, maybe a Cinnabon. I gotta go.
All right.
I'm a sensitive soul girl. It's so easy to break my heart. Not because I'm weak, but because I love so hard. I love so hard. If I never told you just how deep my love goes, well, here is my heart. Don't tear it apart. Promise me you will be kind to my heart. Be kind to my heart. Oh, you knew it from the start. Be kind to my heart. I am fragile, handle me with care. I just need to know that you'll be standing right there. Oh, if I give it to you, please hold it, don't drop it. Love it. Be kind to my heart. Be kind to my heart. You knew it from the start. Be kind to my heart. No, don't take nothing but a little